When you realize that your life is not well in the country where you live, that you do not feel safe, that your income is no longer enough to support your family, or when you feel threatened with nowhere to go, the idea of immigrating to another country becomes a relevant idea that many people tend to face. They leave the comfort zone if they believe they can have a better life elsewhere. And this place has a new name in the world, Canada.
1993 starting the idea, and we're in between Australia and Canada. But Serge already have some relatives in Canada.
I think Canada or Australia could be a better place for education, security. Everybody knows that Brazil doesn't have a good reputation for safety, all the stuff. So that was the main reason.
34 years.
34 years, yeah. Well, we are from Czechoslovakia when we left, but now actually it's two countries. There was few reasons. There was still communism there. That meant that we didn't have that freedom, either personal or religion freedom. And the main problem for us was our daughter Susie, because she got really sick over there. It was mainly because of the pollution over there, and there was no medication which could kind of help her.
I came to Canada on December 4, 2004.
I came in 2007.
Well, El Salvador is really dangerous, so for anyone who knows, there's a lot of gang problems. One day, I was like 7 years old, I think. My dad, there was a guy that was outside. He was like really drunk, and then he started like beating on my dad's car, because over there it's normal to park in front of your house, right? So then my dad got so upset when he heard it, and he went outside and he started beating this guy, and it got to a point where the guy was almost unconscious. My dad had to leave that day because or else he was gonna get killed. We started receiving calls to our house, threats that they wanted to kill us, you know? And then they were just like, you know, if you don't have him by this time here, you're all gonna be dead. He was like 6 when we left him behind, yeah. And then my older brother was 9. We went to States, we ended up in New York because we had relatives there. They basically helped us, and we stayed with them for a while, and they helped us, and then they told us, you know, you can't stay here because it's impossible for you to become a citizen here. One of my dad's friends commented Canada, but to us, we were so naive, we're just like, what is Canada, you know?
For many years, the United States was the first choice of those who decided to leave their country. But in recent years, Canada has been providing immigration opportunities. People from all over the world have turned to that moment. The Conference Board of Canada issued a new report in June 2018 saying that it is necessary to increase the annual immigration rate to 415,000 by 2030 to compensate for the aging of the Canadian population, stimulate consumption and savings. Consequently, keep the country economically healthy and bringing more immigrants into Canada. But when they arrive in Canada, in addition to new opportunities, they face many difficulties as well.
From the beginning, we didn't know that we had to learn English pretty fast because you had to communicate, you had to find a nice job. You don't want the people doing stuff for you, you want to do by yourself, right? You want to shopping, you want to ask questions, and the most important thing, you want to make money. And to make money, you need to speak English, and that was a big point for us.
The hardest part for me was that I left my whole family, and I have my 2 sisters and brother and parents, and he has his sister, and we didn't even tell them because that time you can't say anything to anybody. Otherwise, you don't know how they're going to react. Maybe they will say somewhere. And that's what almost happened because one of my sisters was taking it so hard. She told me after, if you would tell me, I would go to police and tell them, and that would be our. So it was hard to just pack everything and leave.
For me specifically, it was so drastic because I came here basically by myself. You know, they weren't here, so I didn't have anyone to rely on to. We don't know the language. We don't know anything. We didn't have any family here, nothing, right? So The first time like that we crossed the border, we were like so excited, you know? But since we didn't have anyone here, we couldn't just call someone and be like, come pick us up or take us somewhere, you know? And we didn't know where we were going. So we ended up, like, the first time that we were here, it started snowing and it was really bad. And we had to sleep at a bus station. And then they kicked us out of the bus station because they were just like, it's closed, you have to get out. I don't remember, it was like somewhere in downtown Toronto. I don't remember the specific station, but you know, I believe that like God works in mysterious ways, because we didn't come here with any money, and then out of nowhere, like some random lady just approached us. She basically ended up guiding us to this coffee time, and then she was just like, you could stay there, and then she gave us like $5, and they're like, I know it's not much, but it's what I have. Then once the station opens, we went to station. We called what's it called, a refugee in Toronto. We saw that there was like a lot of racism, you know, as much as you want to say there isn't, there is. I got bullied, especially because I didn't know English.
Yeah, so at first it was really overwhelming. It was hard to get used to it with my parents, because I hadn't seen them for a long time. I was really rebellious because, you know, I was 6 when they left me. And, you know, you get your memories when you're 5. To me, it was like I didn't really know them, right? Also in school, I was bullied a lot because I didn't know English. And then one time I tried to defend myself, and I ended up getting in trouble because I defended myself, so.
When you are walking in the streets of Toronto, the provincial capital of Ontario, and the most populous city in Canada, you can find different faces, ethnicities, and nationalities. Today, Toronto is considered the center of business, finance, arts, and culture, and is recognized as one of the most multicultural and cosmopolitan cities in the world. Although the concentration of immigrants is in Ontario, today you can also find immigrants all over the country. And those who have been here for a long time give some advice to those who are coming now.
Learn as much as you can, and come, if it's possible, come with your documentation ready, like as a land immigrant. Learn your English or your French. Don't expect that because you do certain, you are professional there, that you be the same, doing the same thing. No, you're not. Be prepared that you have to start from zero. Be prepared that you have to learn how to accept that different culture.
It just sometimes I see that new immigrants are expecting too much. If he comes only to Canada to live, be maybe rich or just live the easy life, I don't know, he may be disappointed. But if you want to live normal life, you want to work, you want to, have a family and a safe, raise your kids in safe environment, have your freedom, it's great.
I remember when we came and we thought, okay, we were prepared. We came with 2 suitcases and we're gonna sleep on the floor. Doesn't matter, we were happy that we are here. And we opened the door and it was nothing special really, but it was a bed there. It was couch, very simple couch. It was table, chairs, and I started crying. In the kitchen we had few pans, pots and pans, and I was looking at it. I didn't expect that, so I was crying. I said, this is really special.
I would say the same thing that my dad says. If you're gonna come here to actually do something important. Come here with a purpose.
I would say for sure do it. Even though it'll be hard for the first couple of years, it's so worth it in the long run. You have a future. You're gonna do so much better for your future. If you have a family, or if you're planning on bringing someone here, it'll be better.
There are stories of life, different cultures, joys, and sorrows that immerse themselves in this cold country. And each one has something to add, tell, and a reason to leave everything behind and venture into this new world called Canada.